I guess we'll end it here for Mr. Mike. And then
I'm actually probably going to dip out, too.
That's
I know
fine.
I said earlier that... Yeah, go ahead and spoil it.
Clap?
but
I'm gonna clap
I
Mike
didn't-
out, and then we gotta clap.
That's fine.
We all
All right,
get an
Clap
applause
Brandon
out.
out.
I'm so alone. All right. So now it's just me, the whole podcast, by myself. My friends have all gone. I don't know if you can hear that upstairs.
Welcome to Movie
And we're
Fight,
and we're back.
Movie Fight Midnight Edition.
the Raised by Wolves edition.
So the reason that there's only 3 of us now is the other 2 guys.
We did our homework.
Yeah.
The other 2 guys did do their homework. They didn't finish the assignment, and they have not. They have not watched.
They had not finished Raised by Wolves.
Yeah.
No.
they've not finished.
Brandon, which is hilarious because he's usually the one that's so hard about us not watching stuff because he's
Yeah.
usually very good about doing it.
Yes, he's usually the one that watches everything.
And
before
up until
us.
last week, he was the only one current on Raised by Wolves. But now
And then me and Z went hard the last
And
2
then
and,
we
weeks.
surpassed him.
and Jimmy, we watched it. Like I finished the season finale today.
So did
I
I.
finished it like 3 days ago.
I finished it earlier today while I was waiting for my phone to get fixed.
Yeah. Mike is 3 episodes behind. Brandon's about an episode and a half behind.
But so we're gonna do this without them, and they're gonna finish it up, and we're gonna give our cut
Our
down
takes on it.
Oh, yeah.
What Brandon also wanted to discuss, which will be on another episode, or TV shows mostly that are original IPs like this. Like, what else can you think about that's been this original within the last few years?
Right. Doesn't feel like it is either a direct remake or doesn't feel like a.
Or based on something like, Umbrella Academy's based on this comic book. The Boys based on this comic book.
Right.
This based on a book. This
Right.
based on this.
Yeah.
This is an original idea that has some Knights.
feel too?
Well,
I was
no,
gonna say,
like
I-
Knights Templar type feel.
Okay.
All right, Jimmy, go right ahead. What is your? Well, let's just do an overall take on the show as a season 1.
Yeah.
And then we'll go more in depth.
Okay. Do you want to leave? Should we leave the discussion of like what Brandon wants us to talk about for another episode? Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's.
Like I said, so that's something that like we
Yeah.
want to talk about. We'll
Yeah,
leave
we're
that
going
on the
to
back
talk
burner.
strictly
So,
about
yeah, so-
Raised by Wolves.
Right. Well, yeah. Let me start with overall. I have enjoyed the season of the show.
Well, I guess start off at.
I'm gonna go to episode 1.
I mean, episode 1 to episode 10.
Yeah.
What was your feel
Yeah.
about the overall
Yeah.
feel?
So episode 1, I haven't heard of this, and looking at the title, I'm like, I have no idea what this is about. And I sit down, and episode 1, it starts off strange, right? You're first off, not only
We all watched it together.
Yeah. Not only is it strange as far as it's just kind of weird, but you also don't know what's happening, right?
You don't know anything.
Yeah, you don't understand what's happening, and it's just weird stuff. But then as the episode gets on, towards the end of the episode, you get just blown away, right? You're like, wow, that got. First off, it's kind of brutal, so that makes it exciting. It's
Yeah,
not some.
when she started blowing people up by
She
yelling.
explodes people.
Yeah,
right?
explode.
But right before that, you kind of get this. She comes off as frail and weak.
Yeah.
Kind of like just a weak, frail character.
Yeah, her body type.
Her body's breaking down. Her mind's breaking down, and all of a sudden, she just starts. She literally destroys an entire city-size spaceship,
Yep.
and you're like, "Holy shit!"
She kills.
Which it's called the Ark.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
because of religion.
Yep.
But she kills so many people. She kidnaps kids. The show starts off with 6 or 5 kids dying.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh shit.
And they touch on her being a little because we understand pretty quick that they're androids.
Yes, but we don't know what type of android.
Right.
We don't
Yeah,
know.
You start off thinking that they're just basic service model, like they're designed to take care of these kids.
That's
and
what you would assume.
That's it.
But right away, you start getting a glimpse of something's off about her.
Yes.
You get a glimpse
Yes.
that like she's more emotionally attached to things than you would think she should
Yes.
be.
that an android should.
Right.
And then it ends with the season. Episode 1 ends with her crashing a ship, taking a bunch of kids, essentially kidnapping them,
Yep.
killing their parents more or less, and then that's how the season ends with her. You think the only surviving human is Marcus, who's the main male.
From the
Yes, from
From the Ark.
You
yes.
think he's the only real surviving human because she killed every other human by exploding them.
Yeah.
Or crashing the ship.
Yeah.
Then
I guess we should stop. If you're watching this, major spoilers. We're
Oh, yeah.
we're dumping in
Heavy spoilers.
Adam will post that up at the thing. He'll say spoilers. It's fine. But then episode 2 starts off with Marcus and that girl, but you didn't know it was Marcus. You
Yeah.
saw them like, what the hell's going on here? It's going back to being on Earth.
Right before the arc
Yeah.
launches.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you see them getting face swapped. So then it opens up like
fucking
fuck,
face
dude, like,
off.
wait.
Who's real? Who's who?
Yeah,
and,
like you're
you
like
know.
fuck both of them, and then murdering
The real them.
Yeah,
The people whose faces they stole.
and
they
then
go in
just
and kill them.
transitioning in, even though they're atheists, and everybody else is all super religious.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then you're like, wait, what the fuck? And then
Yeah.
it realized that now, throughout that episode, the kids aren't trusting her.
Yeah.
The kids want to go back home. Her son is
Mhm.
an atheist. The rest of the kids are super religious. Like, no, this is how it's supposed to be.
Yeah. So one of the things, there's a lot of things that by the end do get explained to some degree, but there's still a tremendous amount of mystery.
Yes,
Like-
there's enough flashbacks and enough current that will make me want to go back to another season.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Which
Absolutely.
season 2 has been announced.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, the holes, right? You see them go down one completely at the end, right?
Mhm.
But there's still, so we know that there's giant serpents
Well,
that used to be on the planet
because you saw the
because you saw the skeletons. So the whole time you see those holes, you're sitting there thinking like, they say they're extinct. Are they really extinct? Ooh, there's a tropical zone. There's other areas of this place. Like, are they going to bring? I'm sitting there thinking the whole time like, man, are we going to see a live snake, serpent? You know?
So, we'll touch a little bit more on that at the end because I actually had a theory. I wasn't sure if it's
Of course,
true
you
or
have a theory.
isn't that my job here?
Yeah.
Isn't
yeah.
Brandon the narcissist? I'm the one with the crazy theories.
Yeah.
You're the one that likes everything. Mike,
I don't know. Okay, maybe. I like to be entertained.
no, nothing wrong with that.
Are you not
Mike's
entertained?
the one that he'll watch something.
Mike's like the neutral party of the
Yeah.
whole group. Yeah.
And then James is kind of just like, what are we talking about, guys? Like, let's go.
Yeah. What?
Right?
Yeah.
What? Sorry. Hi.
Yeah.
I like.
Yeah,
I like to rewatch a lot of old.
I hated that trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, so we all have our own place. But
Mm-hmm.
no, like, then as the show goes, you realize, ooh, there are more survivors of the Ark.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Oh, wait, there's a hierarchy, of course.
Mhm.
Oh, wait, this girl is pregnant by somebody on the Ark.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's really messed up. All right, she's slowly losing a little bit more. She's exploring. She's going off on her own. She brings the dad back that she kills because she needs somebody to watch the kids while she goes out and try to explore, to try to
Yeah.
find parts to repair the womb, so that way they
Yep.
could take the baby out of the girl. Okay, that's
Yep.
fine. Then Marcus starts going through, and he's having trouble because he wants to save his son.
Yeah. You slowly watch Marcus descend into some madness, for sure. But throughout, you got Saul.
Yeah.
You don't know. Okay, you hear characters are hearing voices in their heads, and it's jumping around character
and
to
you
character.
hear them throughout them.
Yeah.
You hear them whispers. You don't hear everything they're saying.
You hear whispers, and then sometimes you hear like, "Save me," let them live. You hear those things, and it's jumping around from character to character. And at this point, you don't know, is that really the Saul guy, or is it something else? Right? You don't know what it is, and it seems to be driving whoever hears it mad.
I have a theory on that.
What is your theory on that?
I think it's just like there's something on that planet that's just straight fucking with people. Whether it's a spirit, because like they said, the humanity there is de-evolving.
They think.
Okay, I'm gonna.
We'll touch more on that in
The
a
reason
moment.
I'm gonna disagree is explain, because the guy that raped the girls on the ship, he did that and was going crazy with the Saul voice before they went to that planet.
Yeah, because remember.
So
that,
that's
You're
why
right,
I'm kind
yeah.
of like, I don't. I mean,
Yeah.
Could it? Oh no, because I was gonna say, could it be like the girl who had her face swapped, where she was like hibernation, like that type of hibernation? It does stuff to people and makes them go crazy. But then again, also Caspian is also experiencing
Campion.
Campion is also experiencing it from like hearing like his
Seeing
sister.
Well, and that's the
stuff
thing
like
that to me
so-
is very interesting is Campion is seeing Tali,
Mm-hmm.
but so has Mother and Father.
Yes.
Now that's the weird part because human versus android.
So that
you know.
that stuff, 100%. There's something on that planet that is causing.
I
that
think
stuff,
that
I think.
is to do with the planet. Yes, I would. Agree.
So
But the Saul thing, yes, you
I have a
that
theory about
one
the Saul
is-
thing as well. What is the thing that they're hearing right now?
okay, what is it?
Mine is it's some kind of parasite or pathogen or something like that. I'm thinking, and
Could be from the food, could be from the water.
I'm thinking it's some kind of parasite or something like that.
Or is it something that came from the original Earth because it only started happening
hmm
once the ark crashed? So was it something from the original Earth
hmm
that then crashed, boom, now people are starting to hear it?
Well, that would make sense if it was a parasite.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like something
Because
like
now
that.
it's in survival mode, right?
Yeah.
It's crashed. It's got to do things, spread,
Yeah.
this and that. So I think it's something like that.
Or also that could be happening because it only started happening more and more once they got to that giant rock in the
The
sand.
dodecahedron looking
Yes.
thing, yeah.
Which is weird because they only started getting stuff like nobody heard voices within the main group. That one
Yeah.
guy on the ship, yes,
Yeah.
but on the main group did not hear voices until after that.
Till they got to that. No, you're right. That throws a little bit
And
of
then
a
the same
wrench
thing
in it,
with
yeah.
him taking the kid's arm and shoving it in there,
And it's
the
fine.
fire stops.
Yeah. Or when he grabs the one dude's face and pushes it on it and it burns him.
Yes.
You know.
Like, what is that?
Yeah, why does that happen?
Why is that on here? Is that soul?
Mhm.
Is
But then
yeah.
you start seeing Marcus kills the leader of the highest ranking
Yeah.
because he heard voices and everybody.
The previous eminence.
Yep. Everybody
Yeah.
then.
You think he's a prophet?
Well, no, we're higher. No, he's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Then
the
it starts
prophet.
going into Mother, going into simulations.
Yeah.
That then were really fucking weird.
Yeah, the whole, Mother's been the most, I would say, Marcus is getting close there, but difficult to really understand what's happening, right?
Yeah.
There's so much unknown about it. At first, like I said, kind of weak, weird, motherly attached android.
Yeah, you don't know what the necromancers are.
Right,
You don't
then-
know. You don't realize in the first meeting you think her and father are the exact same.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're apples and oranges.
Yeah.
You know what I
And
mean?
then as you find out, she's, a killing machine.
One of the most powerful androids.
Yeah. You,
Model.
That are models
Yeah,
that
but
were
still,
made.
It's super complex, what's going on, and I mean I can't wait till we talk about the end.
Yeah.
Right? 'Cause
Yeah. Then throughout that, they start trying to get the boys back. The children start revolting a little bit.
Yeah,
Starts-
they actually start caring for the androids,
Yes,
like
they
mother and
realize-
father.
they
They,
realize
want
mother and
they don't
father.
want to see them harmed.
Then Mother starts going more into descent because of her simulation showing her things, and
Her
then
old
somehow they're getting drawn. Like, how are they getting drawn? Who drew them? Was it the planet? Was it this? Was it that? Who the hell
Yeah.
drew?
That's one of the major things right now that's not explained is the Tali thing. Now, at first I thought, the Tali thing was in their head, right? They weren't
Yeah.
actually seeing her, they wasn't actually doing things. But then things started happening.
yes.
That was it the doll and the little girl,
Yeah, talking.
actual physical things were happening in the world that made you think maybe it's not just in somebody's head. Because like even the drawing, they're androids. They could have easily
Yeah.
done her handwriting, like father said.
Yeah, or like
You
mom,
know?
mom was accusing father of.
So,
She was like,
the other
"You
thing
did
that we
this."
really didn't
Yeah.
fully discuss is that this takes place over 12 years.
Yes.
Right.
When
Yeah.
they first land to
When the
when
arc
everything
gets there.
started actually happening, it was 12 years.
Mhm. Yeah.
And within that 12-year span, they never seen a creature.
No, until they
Until
never
the arc got there.
Until the ark crashed.
Yeah, you're right.
Then creatures started showing up.
Yeah.
Then other things started happening. So it's like, did something happen? What else was on that ark? But also, what else is on the planet? Like you said, it's a huge planet.
Mhm.
Then beyond that, you start seeing her going to some descent, her not trusting people, the children not trusting her. Then Marcus slowly going down his path. Like, he found some things. Found that crazy guy. who also heard voices and start realizing like you're not the real Marcus.
But the thing that got me with that is when he said, soul no longer speaks to me. Like it jumped.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That's where I got
like
the
a
real
like a thing-esque.
Yeah, real parasite vibe,
Yes. And then once it jumped from Marcus, it went to his son.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then Marcus couldn't hear him anymore. And then his son did. And now, you know what I mean? Like it is jumping from person to person. It only
Yeah.
seems like one person could do it at a time.
Yeah. Mhm.
Which, like I said, very intriguing. Then the biggest drop of the season, when then the android mother is pregnant.
Yep.
Yeah.
When that first started happening, you're like, wait, what happened?
Yeah.
Like, when did that get introduced? Was it the programming? Did somehow the guy program something in her body that then he activated
Yeah.
with the simulation that robots are not supposed to, androids are not supposed to use? How did he know she would do that? Like, how? Like, there's a
Yeah.
lot of
There's a lot of questions around,
Yeah.
but you're led to believe that, she went into the simulation. She spent time.
She made love.
She spent time with
Her
with
creator.
her creator, at least a synthetic programmed
Yeah.
version of him, a virus as she calls it in some, in one way, and comes out of it. And it's okay. You can sit there and say, okay, she's an android. It's technically programming. It's cellular programming. He could give her the ability to then develop a womb and
yes,
a
they
baby.
have fake wombs that they're
Right.
already doing.
You totally buy into that. You could say, okay, like weird, crazy, wasn't expecting it maybe, but like I can wrap my head around that.
Yes.
Then start, and everything even about the pregnancy. It's weird and strange, right? It needs blood. It's growing so fast. Makes sense. Okay, it's an android. It's
They said that her body's eating faster, that
Yeah.
it would happen
You
quicker.
can
The one lady
totally-
said the cellular growth on it is
it's
crazy. It's going to be one badass baby.
Yeah,
Like,
and you can totally
And that is
wrap
true.
your head
Yes.
around that and be like, okay, yeah, android weird
Yes.
stuff. Okay, I'll buy into that. But let's get to the elephant in the room.
1 second. That's the last thing I want to talk about, because that's the end.
Okay, yeah,
Let's just talk a little bit about the full descent of Marcus,
okay,
and then we'll talk. The rest of it will be about
okay,
that.
all right.
So, like, Marcus fully loses it when the children leave. When
Yeah.
the children flee, fully goes crazy.
Yep, okay.
Like, like first he was battling that guy in the woods,
Yep,
gets wounded, just slowly, just completely, just goes
you mean
insane.
he cut himself?
Yeah.
yeah.
when he
gets wounded.
cuts himself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then, because of his descent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then he.
Oh, real quick, by the way, even though it didn't actually happen in the show, when he cuts his face off and pulls it back, like, awesome.
Yeah.
So brutal.
Yeah,
Like,
so good.
So if you're into that kind of thing.
Like I said, like his descent is just crazy.
Yeah.
Like he's going full madman.
Had that vision when he was banging his wife of that he actually stabbed her
Yep.
in the
Yeah.
chest and
Like
stuff.
I said, he goes completely crazy.
Yep.
He the religious people start realizing he's going crazy.
Yeah.
The android starts questioning that he's not the real person, because she can see the
She
scarring.
knows that.
Yes,
been-
yes.
Yeah.
And then he went full crazy at the altar type thing.
Yeah.
Like
Burns.
when
Well,
he-
I feel like the false prediction I'm gonna say, because he was like, "Give me a sign," and then
Yeah.
that kid burnt the altar. He's taking it as, "Oh, Saul burnt this altar. This is a sign."
Yes.
Versus, nah, this kid was literally just saying, "Fuck your altar."
Yes, and then, but then when he kidnapped everybody, essentially, like, hey, we're going here to get a sign
Yeah.
before we find our children.
Yeah.
And their father gets reprogrammed, which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
He slits that guy's throat. He's like, yeah, and then just fucking, you could just tell. When, like, the actor who plays Marcus, I know he's also in Vikings and other things. He was great.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
awesome.
Like his
He's good.
his mannerisms.
Real
his-
quick, all of the actors and actresses in this show are fucking
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, like mother and father both have a robotic feel to them.
yes,
Yeah, they do a really good job of
every
portraying not quite
every time
human.
Father ran was just
When he
killing me.
runs,
You know,
yeah.
he just high hands every
Yeah.
time, just full
Well,
sprint.
real
like,
quick,
I got this.
I got worried he was gonna kill that kid when he pulled out that axe and was like, you're like, fucking hell,
Yeah.
dude.
Right, yeah.
Then, Marcus then kills everybody pretty much and leaves.
Yeah.
Then the last thing you see with Marcus is atheists are now on the planet.
Yes.
So somehow atheists also got there, and he knew one of them.
Yeah, and somehow Atheist had another humongous ship.
Well, we're not sure how big.
Well, it looks big.
Yes.
Yeah.
We don't know how many people.
Yeah.
We don't know all that. Then the elephant in the room, as you said,
Yeah,
happened.
yeah.
So the last season or last episode, sorry. Right before that, when she's feeding off the rapist.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the prisoner.
And,
That was wild.
He's like, no, actually, I reversed it.
Yeah.
And when he fucking died and that helmet just mushed his head.
Yeah, I do want to get to what you mentioned something. So she's feeding her fetus,
Yep,
her
off of his
baby,
blood.
off of blood, and she taps into his
Yep,
helmet,
killing
to feed
monsters,
her
stuff
blood.
like that.
Then somehow you're led to believe the flow of the blood gets reversed, and he turns into a fucking
Superhero.
like the mountain.
Yeah.
He turns into
Yeah.
I can't be stabbed, hurt in any way.
Yeah, he gains her power.
Yeah, that thing, that to me was like, oh man. If they don't explain that, I'm gonna be a little upset because that was like, man, that doesn't make any sense. If humans could just like shoot up some android blood and then become fucking monsters,
Yeah. But we're not sure if it's all android or if it's also because of the fetus.
right. But
So like we're not sure.
I know, I just
come
wanted-
to
I just
find
want an
out from
explanation,
that
you know.
because like elephant in the room, fetus is born. It's not a regular baby.
Yeah.
Like when she's in that scene, and the kids also shot his mom.
Yes, Paul did shoot his mother.
because she's going crazy. She wants to just leave and go to the other climate, the forest
Tropical
area.
zone.
Yes,
Yeah.
to try to get away from everybody. And the kids are like, no, the kids are all android.
Yeah.
The kids are 100% mom.
yeah, they're not androids, but
I know they're 100. They're team android.
Yeah, they're
They-
team mom.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're team
Android mom.
yeah, mother. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, and you get like you said, you get to the episode, you find okay, baby's coming,
Yeah. The
and she picks a very strange place.
well, she was just wandering in the in the in
Well, you noticed that head that she picked up, what that was, right?
the yeah.
That was another.
Well, she kept having flashbacks of that scene.
Yeah, well, that head she pulled up when she pulls that mask off it, that's another android head. That's whatever she is again.
It was a necromancer.
Yeah, it's a necromancer.
Oh, I didn't know
head.
that.
Yes.
So
If you
that
go
cube
back- if
thing
you-
that
yes.
she was in when there was puking stuff everywhere.
Yeah, that
was a
when
necromancer?
because when she goes, the head is right there. She pulls the helmet. It's just a helmet, like
Yeah,
off of it, and
Yeah.
she looks at the head. You see the same markings on that head as she has when she turns like.
I don't know
full
if
necromancer.
I noticed that.
Yeah.
So that part there, it didn't make sense to
I
me.
didn't see that either. Well, I
No.
said she kept having flashbacks of people on that planet.
Yes,
Yeah,
and then
in the
they were
hoods,
standing around that cube with that thing that was trapped in there, and
Yeah.
then that's what she finds
Yeah.
when she gives birth to their baby. As it like years later, it's broken up and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
all that's left is like the skeletal remains of it. And then when she pulls that mask off of it, it's a necromancer.
Was it?
Yes,
Okay. I don't remember that being a necromancer, but if
it
you're
it looks just like.
Oh,
she
I believe
does.
you.
Yeah.
Maybe I just missed it. But
I missed it as well.
even if it was, I still don't understand that. I don't get that. I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't understand
The
like how it
weird
ties
thing-
in, why a necromancer would have been there.
Or in the cube,
so
and
many
why
years.
is it just puking blood? Or
Well,
goo everywhere?
the white blood. Yeah,
I know,
that's
but
what they-
what's the point of it?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
spewing everywhere. But anyway, okay.
Then,
that's weird. But baby's on its way.
yep, like I said, the mother who got shot said, "Hey, we have to find her. The baby's coming. Baby's not going to
Yeah,
be safe."
Yeah.
So
Now, and even before we go there, now the young boy that
Yeah,
their
Paul.
son Paul, he goes into that crevasse, looks on the wall, he sees cave paintings, but the cave paintings lead you to believe some things that are happening with them right now,
Yeah.
which is very. So then you go back to, prophetic stuff is actually happening. You know, they don't explain it, but that's about what you see.
Yes.
But now before we say what the baby was. I was expecting a not normal baby. I think most people it would have been some kind of.
I was still expecting humanoid though.
I
I was
yes,
expecting
I was
one
expecting
to look
hu-
like them essentially.
I was expecting humanoid. I agree. I was expecting humanoid, but with obviously some crazy shit going on.
Yeah. Yeah, because in my eyes, initially, what I thought happened was one of those embryos got reactivated inside of her.
Yeah.
So it's just going to be a human baby that's getting born, but it was feeding off her blood, so something is going to be off about it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe it's like a super powerful human being.
Yes, but then when I thought it was a flashback initially. When it first happened, I thought it was like a nightmare.
I did too.
Like when the serpent started shooting out of her mouth.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
I thought
So real quick, in that scene, you could definitely tell like this is a Ridley Scott creation because like
the way
I totally thought that baby was bursting out of her chest at first. Like when her stomach just sucks in, I was like, ooh, it's about to burst out the
and
chest.
just,
Yeah.
yeah. So I guess let's jump into it.
Yeah.
Not a humanoid. It's some kind of serpent.
Yep.
And when you're watching,
Looks like one of those sucker fishes.
Yeah, it looks like it looks like a lamprey's mouth,
Yep.
right? And then it's got a
eel body.
dragony.
Yeah,
almost
my
body.
my
Yeah.
initial thing was, oh, it's some sort of parasite.
Right. Yeah.
Yes,
Parasite.
So that kind of works into the theory because, like, what if it is that parasite got into those original people through the
fungus.
the simulation.
Oh,
yeah. No. You're absolutely
So
right.
and then because when she went into the simulation, it's the because she already said that it wasn't her creator that put that there.
Yeah.
It was whatever was in that simulation put it there. What
And
if it was
I
that
don't-
parasite wanting to be born?
And as soon as even when you thought it was some kind of baby, a baby,
Yeah.
I wasn't totally buying into. I forget what the creator's name was.
Yeah, I wasn't either. Cause
I wasn't
was like,
buying into
I don't,
that was
I don't,
him.
I'm not feeling this. Like the whole flashback thing. Yes, that's him. I'll
No,
buy into
I
all
didn't.
that.
No, even
but
even the flashbacks for him. To me, I was sitting there thinking, like, man, this just seems out of. I didn't get a lot of character development with him,
Yeah,
but I was like, man, this doesn't seem like something he would do.
yeah, it's very, very weird.
No,
It's weird that he
just
would-
when she went back to him and they did the whole sleeping together stuff. That's when I was like, that's not.
Yeah.
That's not. Him.
Even when he
That's
popped
different.
up the first time, I just felt like I don't know that this is really.
It was
him.
like Umbrella Academy. Like, I don't trust this guy.
Yeah, no, I don't
but-
think it was really him.
Yeah.
So I agree, though. I think that is, obviously that's what did it,
Mhm.
and it's and I don't think it was actually coming from him, her
Mhm.
creator. I don't remember his name, but so it's a serpent.
and it's born.
And it's feeding on her.
It's feeding on her,
And it flies.
It can fly. When I first saw that it was a serpent, and before I saw it fly, I was kind of thinking like, oh, maybe this is how this is how the original serpents.
The snakes. That's what I thought
The
as well.
original
Yes,
snakes came
yes.
about before I saw its mouth.
Yep.
And I'm sitting there thinking, like, okay, that kind of makes sense. They need a host to be born. The host on this planet, as we know, have devolved, maybe not viable anymore. Now,
Yep.
all of a sudden, regular-ish humans
Yeah.
come around, But after I see its mouth and that it can fly, doesn't make sense.
Unless somehow when it gets bigger, it evolves differently.
I was
But
because
that-
because
really
all the
don't
others,
know.
all the other
embryonic
ones,
phase.
all the other ones, like they look like regular
But
snakes.
yeah, they
just
have regular
giant.
jaws and stuff. But it is a pretty damn significant coincidence that she has a serpent, and they're on a planet with giant serpents.
Yes.
Yeah.
So then, like, I asked James initially because I was a little confused, and then she walked out of the thing, and I was like, wait, because I saw her carrying it. I was like, did that turn into a fucking baby? Did I like somehow miss something? No. And then
No, just
you know,
feeding
It's
on
still
her,
a certain.
yep. And then
serpent.
father, and then mother making the assumption like, hey, I gotta kill myself.
Yep.
essentially. Like I gotta go. Like,
Yeah.
because she's like, well, just throw me in the, it'll fly.
Mhm.
And then when her and father then leaves the children, everything like that, goes into the pit,
Yeah.
goes through the core of the earth.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, fuck, dude.
Over.
Like, you're like, yeah, that's fucking it. Like,
Cool. They took care of it. It's dead. We'll
they're
never
both
see it
dead.
again.
Like, what the hell's gonna happen on season 2?
Yeah.
Like, who's gonna be the characters? Whatever.
Mhm.
Then they pass through which that ship's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
I thought that too. I was like, there's no way this thing's holding up. The pressure, the heat. But
Mhm.
anyway.
But then they pass through the serpent bigger. They
Yeah.
they flash forward to the serpent flying. Looks like almost double
It's
the size.
huge.
Yeah, double the size. Like in,
Yeah,
that, in
yeah,
that
yeah,
ship.
yeah.
Yes.
Which mother and father do survive. Also, they jump out
well,
of the.
we're not sure if they both.
Well, yeah, we don't know if they survive, but they survive. Also survive going through the core.
Yes. Well,
They
because
jump
everything
out-
in the ship's fine.
Yeah, they jump out of the
Mhm.
back of the ship before it crashes.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then
no,
that's
it shoots up to space.
It goes to space.
well, yeah. Well, it shoots up and then
Yeah,
comes back down.
yeah.
But they jump out before it hits the ground again, and
Yeah.
then you see the snake keep growing and then bust out of the ship.
Yeah. So within the span of what you're led to believe, less than a half hour or
Yeah,
something,
maybe an hour.
the snake goes from about maybe 1.5 to 2 feet to when it slithers off into the air.
Probably at least the
Looks
size
like
of like a
it's-
4 or 5 story building.
Well, it didn't come off quite that big,
Maybe
but
like 20 feet.
it looked like about 20 feet, 20, 30 feet, something like that.
Okay, size of like a tall tree.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe
Um,
like a 2-story house.
Yeah.
You know what
But
I
either
mean?
way, I mean, it looked like it was,
drastically
it-
bigger.
quadrupled,
Yep.
in size.
So
within
you
very
see
short
it
time,
flying
so-
off in the tropic zone, which is on the other side of the Earth.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So right now, mother and father are in the tropic zone.
Yep.
Then it flashes back to the children still in that one zone.
Mhm.
With the
which-
one
the-
fake
the-
mom being shot.
Yeah, the one mother being shot. We don't know what's gonna happen with her.
You don't know
Yeah.
where
And
Paul's
then
at.
The final scene is like we already discussed. Marcus then fighting with atheists, killing most of them, and then realizing one of them is one of his friends.
Oh yeah, and then also
Yeah.
one of those things that why Marcus is so crazy at the end. Also, he get one of the necromancer's eyes shoved down his throat when the remaining people
Yeah.
revolt.
Yeah.
which sends him even more crazy because he starts hallucinating even more.
Yeah. Right.
So we don't know. We don't know one. For all we know, the Nathius could actually be illusion of his mind. I don't
Could be.
think
There
they
could
are.
there could be a lot of things that are though. I mean, when you start talking, when you get into the whole like what's real
Yeah.
kind of thing, they could go crazy with it. They could,
because like I said, like my theory with the serpent is yes, I think it somehow evolves into the serpent on the planet.
Okay.
I'm the biggest reveal that you also got is that there are still humanoids on the planet.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you get the creatures at first, then you find out that you see a humanoid character. There's only one that you see.
Yes.
Then
But
they
once
just-
again, it's been
they're-
12 years and they never seen anybody. So are
Right.
those people? Because she's in similar garbs, or it is in similar garbs to their daughter, like that cloak and everything like that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
are somehow they fucking with everybody?
Yeah. Well, we know this. We know that things on the planet are irradiated, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
The
The food, the water.
what do they call those things? I forget, but the carbos,
Yeah.
right? The
Yeah.
carbos are radiated, and that's why initially all of the kids died except for Campy, and he developed some resistance, right? So we know that that's going on the planet. We know that after analyzing a lot of the food-like stuffs, that they're toxic or things like that.
Yes,
So
right, but they're toxic to people. What if on that planet they're not? You know what I mean?
what if those are people?
What do you mean, like the food and stuff?
No. The humanoids. What if those are people from, say, maybe a previous wreckage or older followers of Saul or something like that made it to that planet, and because of either something on the planet they devolved or they were regular-ish people,
Okay.
and then the ark crashes and something on the ark because it's got weird radiation and all that stuff
Yeah.
causes it. You know what I mean? Those
Could be.
I don't know why, but those are theories that I've been kicking around.
Like I said, like I kind of want to rewatch it.
Yeah.
Just to see, just once again, see if I missed things.
Yeah, it's
See if I
just
understand it a little bit
yeah.
better.
It'll be interesting to see some of the early episodes, knowing
what you know.
what you know. Yeah.
Yes, it's also one of those things that I'm excited for season 2.
Yeah.
Mhm.
When
Thoroughly.
do we know when we're getting season 2?
No, they just announced it. That's all I know.
They just said they're doing one.
Yes.
Not when.
No.
Okay.
It's HBO Max. They're probably gonna try to push it out quickly
Mm-hmm.
because they want those subscribers hard. But I'm excited. I have unanswered questions,
Mhm.
Yep.
but I was also content. Like when
Yeah.
it was over, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they left you on a cliffhanger.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Which
Not a crazy one.
Yeah, not one that's like, fuck, is everybody dead? Like,
yeah, they've introduced a new element.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think that's it's a great way.
Serpent.
Flying
Yeah.
serpent that was born from an android.
Flying serpent
Out of
and
her
possibly
mouth. Well,
atheist.
I guess she doesn't have a JJ, so it had to come out
A
somewhere.
machine.
A vagine wizard.
Well, that's why I
sleeve.
thought it was about to pop out of her chest.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
but overall, what would you rank it as an opening season?
I'd rank it
Um,
up there.
1 through 10 kind of
Yeah,
thing.
1 through 10. What would you say it as an overall 10-episode season? No real fluff, no real filler.
Yeah.
What would you say as a season overall?
I would give it a 7.7.
Okay, I'd probably say about an 8. Yeah, about a 7.
I was about to say, I'd give it a solid 8.
I'll give it about a 7.
I was thinking at first when you asked that I was thinking 8, but it didn't have. Okay, yeah, I enjoyed it, but it didn't have I don't know. It was missing something for
Like
me.
it hooked me. Like I'd say about an 8 to 8.3.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like it hooked me. I was like, wow. Like after the first episode, I was like, that's crazy.
Maybe it's character development. Maybe that's what I was lacking.
That's the thing.
but-
Like within that short time frame,
Yeah.
Mother developed crazily. Marcus
Yeah.
developed as a character.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I'm
So
not
there
faulting.
was a lot,
Yeah.
but then there was some like off things. Like why was the mother going crazy? Not the human mother. I forgot her name, Sue or something like that.
Oh, the other one. Yeah.
Why
yeah.
was she going crazy?
Yeah, and I mean, and even as well as it was shot, I mean, the production value, like some of the stuff seemed a little cheesy to me. Like for instance, the outfits of the followers,
Yeah.
right? I was like,
Well, it's
I know
like,
they were Crusade and themed.
Yeah,
and stuff,
Knight
but-
Templars.
Yeah, but to me, it was just a little bit. It didn't make sense, right? The advanced technology, space travel, and all that, and
Well, they probably wore armor underneath it. You know?
maybe I don't know. It came off. there was just little things like that I was not upset
Or
about.
or in the flashback to Earth, how they're running around with full machine guns but with medieval armor on.
I loved it.
I mean, it's cool.
Yeah.
I loved that.
But I liked it, but I was like, it's kind of like
No, and
well,
there's
like I said, is it medieval armor or is it medieval armor aesthetics,
but with modern
current-
materials.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I get
something
what you're
that
saying.
could still stop a bullet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
No.
what? But I like that they did the flashbacks. I like that they showed the kids on the atheist sides are like fucking battle. They battle.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
but that,
You're in the army since you were a kid.
when that
Yeah.
kid blows up everybody,
Yeah.
you're like, fuck, dude.
Right. Yeah.
So, like I said, thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm happy with it.
I
I'm
did.
excited to see the next season.
hmm
I hope it's not 2 years out. I hope it's like next year.
No. Yeah, and I hope they. I hope it doesn't get too one way or the other, a little too weird or something, and it becomes. It just falls away. You know what I mean?
So,
But
but
so far, I'm
thoroughly
in.
enjoy it.
I'm in. It's good.
I
I
let
could
us
see.
know.
I could see a lot of people not liking it though. I think it's not a show for everybody.
Well, no, I feel like a lot of people will think they don't like it.
Mm.
Like Mike. Mike thought he was not going to like it.
Yeah.
When Mike watched that show, he's like, okay.
Yeah.
He said that he was just going to try to just power through it. He's even going to fast forward it, watch some snippets, stuff like that. Then he started actually falling in love with it. He started actually liking the character, started liking the type of because it's different. That's what Brandon wants to talk about. It's so different. There's nothing like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can't be like, hey man, you got to watch this new
That-
Young Sheldon because it's brand new. No, it's the
No,
same fucking
no,
show.
no,
Hey,
no.
you got to watch, this. Okay, cool. And then it started getting you a little bit into Westworld and other things.
Well, that was just because I was on HBO Max.
It's
but
very good.
yeah. Yeah.
But let us know what you
Yeah, I
thought.
want to hear what you guys think about it. Did you enjoy it? There are things that, man,
Any
I didn't
theories?
like.
Did
Yeah,
it even
theories.
did it even hit your guys' radar?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, and if
I
it
s-
didn't, strongly recommend you give it a
Yes.
shot.
Like I seen the artwork of the Knight Templar type stuff. I
Mm-hmm.
saw the android holding the baby. I'm like, this is fucking weird. I don't know what the hell this is.
Yeah.
But I watched it. Brandon's recommendation, thoroughly enjoyed.
Mhm.
Brandon's not always right on his recommendations. Office, but
Project Power.
Well, that wasn't
Well,
terrible. That wasn't
no.
that wasn't him saying.
that was what I thought it would be.
That was his recommendation.
He was the one that was let
he
down,
thought it was
yeah.
gonna be amazing.
Well, he showed us a trailer and we all said, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like he showed us a trailer and you went, that looks like fucking garbage.
Yeah.
But don't forget, like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah.
Next week we're going to probably be doing something very similar to The Boys, like this.
Yeah. We'll break
Yeah.
down the whole season.
Go more into recap. Everyone's caught up on that for the most part.
Mhm.
But then, like I said, I have a few new ideas going around, and soon we should also probably be in our new studio.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah.
everybody, all right, this is Movie Fight.
See you guys later.
Comment, subscribe.
Bye.
Good night.